security forces and armed students. Come on.
Hey there, YouTubers. It's Friday, July 6th, and it feels really weird because, well, everything in my life right now is completely fucked. A lot of really unexpected changes have occurred, very sudden, violent, huge changes in my life. But the one that I really want to go into detail about right now concerns my plans for today. I started playing at the freaking Frog roughly 4 years ago, this week or next week. They opened early in June, and I started playing there in the first or second week of July. Every Friday for 4 years. I've missed 8 Fridays, maybe 9, but that's a lot. The only times I've ever not gone, except for one time, were due to illness. There were a couple times where I was just too sick to go play, but there are many times where I was sick and I still played, or due to travel. Last week I quit the Frog, so I'm not playing there anymore. No more Fridays. It's just the end of that. They've been booking bands that have been bumping me, and I told them that the next time that they booked a band that bumped me on a Friday, I was quitting. Because they pay me in whiskey, and it's a difficult job. I'm pretty good at it. And the only thing I have really is my dignity, and to have another band set up in the middle of my set is intolerable to me, especially after 4 years. So last Friday was my last night at the Frog. I made some recordings of it. I didn't get the tunes that I wanted to. I didn't actually manage to record them. I accidentally, double tapped the record thing. It's just perfect irony. Super depressing. But here's the point of this. Today feels fucking bizarre because I don't have to be at the Frog today. This always feels weird. Like, I guess maybe 4 months ago, I walked into Brewski's on a Friday at around this time, 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and Smashley was working, and I was like, surprise, and she couldn't believe it, and I couldn't believe it. It felt so strange. It made it feel like, the week was just, all fucked up. But anyway, I want to tell you the story of Skylark, which is my favorite thing that ever happened to me at the Frog. And if there was so yeah, before we get to Skylark, cheers, end of an era. That's 4 years in one bar in Las Vegas, every week. That's like 1,000 years anywhere else. So yeah, cheers. And I wish them well. We left on relatively good terms. I felt bad for Tommy, my engineer, and the guy who does their booking, because he's a good friend of mine. But it's it's nothing personal. It's just like I can't do that. And I was going to quit on my birthday, which is in a couple of weeks. And for the first time in 4 years, it happened to fall on a Friday. But no, I had to quit last week. Everything is falling apart. But anyway, cheers. And now, for my story about Skylark. So, back in the day, before they got the baby grand and before they renovated the third time, they did 3 expansions. The piano at the Frog, let's say this is the front door, okay? Where the camera is the bar, and it's a straight bar that runs the length of the room. So this would be the front door. The piano was right here, facing away from the door, but right next to the wall. I had to, kind of squeeze in. And they had this fake sound. They had this fake bar that they built on top of it. And originally that bar was really terrible. The bar that they put on the piano, because it totally deadened the soundboard. It was an old upright, and out of 4 years it was never tuned, which is hilarious. And I beat the hell out of that piano. And it was very difficult because the Frog normally gets very packed on Fridays, and on the old piano I would have to, my time at the Frog really taught me a lot about performing, but I'd have to beat the shit out of the piano just in the hopes that that people would hear me and would listen. That's a simplification, but anyway. So this one night, I'm playing really, 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 really well, and I'm very, 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 very drunk. And it's about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night, and the place is slammed. And this was one of those nights. The only problem with not getting paid for a gig is that it's very difficult to care when you have to do it all the fucking time. And you have to care to make anything, to make anything good come out of your performance. You can't phone it in. And cocktail piano, we'll get to this in another vlog, but I just want to say, don't go into music unless you have to, and especially if you're a pianist, don't expect, anything great, but lots of fucked up relationships, possibly a drinking problem, and poverty and despair from having to play cocktail piano, and I love it, and I'm pretty fucking good at it. It's actually one of the things that anyway, so the place is packed, and the neat thing about the Frog, when I do care, and when I feel it, I can shut up the entire room. And it's a complicated process, and it's not something that I do consciously, but once I'm aware that I'm doing it, I can, feed that and make it happen. I can shut up the entire room. 80 people, 80 drunk people, I can make it so quiet in there that you can hear a fucking pin drop.